So we're going where no car can go. And I'll explain shortly why we're here. But first of all, let's go and check out this humongous sculpture just on the hill. Right, so today's video, it might not be the most uplifting video I've ever made on this channel, but hopefully it's going to be quite educational for you guys watching. It's really windy here. I'm on my own, so I'm just going to lift my voice. So today we are at, let me just double check this because I need to get my facts right in this video. Today we are at the 9th fort of Kaunas, which is right behind me here. This is a monument here built to commemorate the Jews that got murdered and executed by the Nazis. And no matter which angle you look at this sculpture at, it is very powerful. As you can see, there's faces here and there's uplifting hands. So let's get a bit closer before we head on down to Fort 9 down here, which is a Nazi execution museum, which is now here for educational purposes. Right, it's really windy right here, so. But yeah, it is so powerful just to look at the faces and the hands. Even the way it's been made, you can still see the chisel marks in it and all sorts. So we're going to head on down now into the Nazi execution offices, which is called Fort 9 Kaunas. This is the field of where people were buried in mass murders. It says right here 50,000 people were killed and buried in these fields, and approximately 30,000 of them were Jewish. So right by here is the sculpture, which is maybe the field right by here, right in front of us here. So before we go in, we're going to go and check out what it says on these plaques up by here as well. That's crazy. So I hope you lot could hear me. It wasn't just Jewish people that were killed here. As it says, over 30,000 of the 50,000 people who perished here were Jewish. But a lot of them were actually Soviet soldiers as well, who perished when the Nazis came and took this part of Lithuania. And there's all sorts of different languages going here. People of all sorts of creed and all sorts of different countries. You have 50,000 people, Russians, Jews, Lithuanians and others killed by the Nazis are buried right here in these fields. Like I say, it's really windy. I don't know if you can hear me. So these say very similar things, but there's different languages. There's Greek on there as well. There. It's mad to think, like, just in this field alone. I've been to, I don't even know if you could hear me, but I'm just going to keep talking. I've been to Auschwitz in Poland myself as well. Auschwitz always gets a lot of attention, but there are other concentration camps around Europe that don't seem to get the light shed on them as much as Auschwitz. But right by here, this is where it all started, and as you can see, it's got like an old fortification wall here just underneath me, and it goes around. But we're going to go to the ticket office now and see if we can get in. So this by here was created by a local artist whose father was murdered. So this commemorates, every single bell commemorates someone on his family lineage who was killed during the Second World War. His father was actually found under the floorboards, still alive, hiding from the Jews. Hiding from the Nazis when they arrived. His father was hiding under the floorboards, where he was found and executed. So, by the local artist here, to commemorate the loss of his father and the lineage of his family, he made this exhibition, which contains bells and I guess the markers that float in the wind. The wind's dying down a bit now, but yeah, this entire place is protected. So this goes on for like, it's probably a mile, maybe more in every direction. But yeah, of course this place would surely be protected for educational purposes, you know, and to teach history, which is very important. But yeah, we're coming up to the offices now, so hopefully I'm filming you, but if not, I'll try and fill this video as much as I can. We can walk around the entire place, but yeah, let's go in and see what's cracking. There it is. It's quite powerful when you come to places like this. Obviously, when I was talking about Auschwitz, and they got a lot more coverage due to the amount of horrific acts that happened here, but there are other concentration camps. Not so much concentration, they call them execution camps as well. I think Auschwitz was one of the worst when it comes to like what they did to the people here, but obviously we're going to learn about what's happened here as well. See the sculpture down there. Right, so they do take bank payments. I have to make a payment in a different building and then come back here. So let's find out where this building is. Ticket office. Ticket office. Oh wow, it's all the way down here. Okay. Right, I'm going to try and speed this process up, so I'll come back to you lot when I'm back here. There's 3 guides there waiting for me as well, so they might take me around, or they might just be there for questions, I don't know, but the ticket office is right here. Maybe my taxi driver should have dropped me off here, not down there, but obviously, yeah, very interesting entrance to this park. Just made a friend then, Azerbaijani, which is from one of the old Russian Soviet countries. Obviously Azerbaijan is independent now, I think. I hope they're independent. But yeah, Azerbaijan, yeah, which is technically part of Asia. So that's where, that's the full extent of Russia. Russia is huge, it goes into Asia as well. Europe and Asia. So yeah, just take 2 minutes. It's currently 1 o'clock, so we've got loads of time. This place doesn't shut till 5. And there's one more thing I want to do when I get back into the city as well. So we've got plenty of time to do that. So we're looking at about 5 videos on this trip, which I'm really happy about. I don't think it's going to be too big in there either. So obviously I'm going to take my time once I'm in there. So I'll see you once when I'm at the building. Pistachio it is. Look at this. I wonder what this is inspired by. So I got my ticket, that was about £6. And I got a pistachio latte. And then I need to finish this by the time I go in there because they won't let me in with it. Because there's a sign that says, I've got a little map too, there's about 20 plus rooms in here and each room has its own story, so I don't know too much about this. I've got a bit of information on me which I will talk about per room, but that's as far as it goes with me. Okay, so you guys enjoy this, learn something, take something away with you, the same as I am. Let's go into the old Nazi execution offices, Fort 9 of Kaunas. It's got CCP on there, just the old name for Russia. In 1915, at 3 o'clock, the 9th Fort was attacked by Imperial German artillery. And by 4 o'clock it was captured within 1 hour. And that's where the artillery hit, right there. As you can see in the picture here. So there we go. The Imperial German Empire, Berlin, coming all the way up here. So these exhibitions go on about the early development of the fort and why it was built. So this is very early, horse and cart. And some of the shells they used. So this is some of the barracks that were created here, some of the original designs. So yeah, this is a big project. Lithuanians were crazy at the time, you know, just to build their own defences in their second largest city. And then some modernisation of some of the buildings here. Obviously there's not much to go by apart from these old photos now. And there's a little model of how the barracks would have been. And this is where they built a second ring around the fort here, so. And by that, the actual ring here, the trench. You can see it a bit better in this one. And here. So yeah, we're still onto the early days of the 9th Fort, yeah. Let's continue. So it's a model of the gas chambers. Interrogation of a political prisoner. keep thinking they're real people looking at me on the desk. Yeah, so this is when it was a hard labour prison. People had to break stones. Yeah, hard labour prison between 1924 and 1941. Prisoners were in prisoner division when the Soviet occupied it. The Ninth Fort became the only transfer point for the political prisons in Lithuania. And then they were sent away with wages in faraway regions of the Soviet Union to work in parts of the country, parts of the world they never worked in before. And then I'm assuming this is where people got signed on, and this is information about where they got sent, dates, names, places. Fucking hell. The wet punishment cell. The punishment cell was set up when the Ninth Fort was reconstructed in prison in 1924. This is the wettest cell room. Spreading, yeah. When the snow melted and the water was seeping through the walls of the ceiling that was accumulating on the floor, the prisoners were imprisoned in here for up to 1 week. Food given per day for 20 grams of food and 1 litre of water. So this must have been soaking. Oh, imagine sleeping in here and it's just wet everywhere. You can't even see it. You could probably imagine that there would just be mold. It's very eerie. If Mikey Boy was here. See you later. Yeah, it's very eerie. Would never want to sleep in a wet cell. The life of the prisoners. The cell housed up to 20 prisoners. Whoa. I can actually smell the damp in here as well. Come back to remember convoy on May the 12th, May 15th, 1944. 878 Jews were deported from France concentration camp to the Baltic states occupied by Germany. Most of them were forced to get off at Kaunas train station and brought to the Ninth Fort, where they were fusilated. This is the last mass massacre known to have been executed in the Ninth Fort. This is sad. It's got all the photos of those people who were convoyed in from France. 878 French Jews. I don't know if I should blur this or not. Some of the possessions, yeah, glasses, medicine bottles, comb, pipe. So this is the convoy up to Kaunas. It's crazy to think how close the Germans got to Britain. Guernsey and Jersey right here. I think they landed on Jersey. Things could have been so different if they crossed our channel. Well, much worse maybe. It's the French flag. Deportees to convoy. So this is possibly the names of those who were on that massive convoy here. Oh, you can see where people have etched in the walls. Where they're from: Monaco, Drassany in Paris, Kaunas, sorry, Paris. That's sad. But the people who etched these were murdered here. And again, more about the families of the people who got moved here. I'm not going to hyper focus on a single person or anything. Yeah, it's just so eye-opening. You know, it's not like they could teach you about this in school, but this is so dramatic to just come in and see all this. And this is the general plan of Kaunas. So this is where we are now. And these are the different forts that the Germans are occupying. And obviously having their own vision, they wanted to put on these. That's here. So this is the exit. So we've got more upstairs. So this exhibition goes on more about the construction of the fort and how it's made out of red brick, unlike the other forts that were around Kaunas. I don't know if these are free or what. There's photos of the other forts. Obviously this one being most important. It's one of the other forts, which is out in the woods. Some more here. More names again. And small possessions. More child shoe. And bucket. So this is the Japanese consul here. So this is confusing me. They give out 6,000 emergency visas to Jewish refugees in Europe who are trying to like escape the war. So for Japan and Nazi Germany were helping out. I'm trying to find out. The Netherlands and Japan gave out 6,000 emergency visas to Jews to help them get out of mainland Europe. Let's keep reading now. So here's Japan right here. And this is where people came in. Where all the emergency visas going out. And here they are right here. Handwritten. Some people signing the book and leaving donations, so I'll be sure to leave my little mark on there before I go. The survivors are the saviors of the Jews. When the Nazis were systematically destroying the Jewish nation, there was many people who were not afraid of the occupation regime and helped the doomed ones. Approximately 900 Lithuanians have been officially acclaimed to be saviors to the Jews. Oh wow. Let's have a look on here. The light is making the video go crazy, but let's continue. So these people have done great things for Lithuania with their certificates of honours just above them right here. I'll just give you some examples. This is positive in retrospect of what's going on. Justina, she sheltered a 7-year-old during the war and she gave the child back to the family. Give the child to the father who returned from the concentration camp. This is Alfonso, who smuggled Jamaican. Yeah, it doesn't say all there, but he smuggled someone out of the Jewish ghetto. He sheltered Dr. Janovos and his wife in the spring in 1944 until the end of the war. So all these guys have done something great for the nation during something so hard and cruel. So well done to everyone in this room. So this one's called the concrete coffin or the concrete stack. So they would put multiple people in here at once with no ventilation. Unfortunately, some people would fall unconscious and perish within just a few hours of being in here. What a horrible way to go. Who thinks up stuff like that? "64 prisoners escaped through this door on December 25th, 1943. Christmas Day." So just a heads up, my battery on this camera is due to go again, but I got 50% on the other one, so I might have to switch it over. We should be able to get through this in one go. Alright, we've done all upstairs now, so let's head back down. Whoa. I'm not stepping on that. Holy smoke. In Lithuanian history, the big action is probably the largest mass murder organised in the territory of Lithuania during one day. The massacre was organised by the SS colonel Stranding for Hammer. The victims were guarded, escorted and shot by soldiers of the 3rd Company of the 1st Artillery Police Service Battalion, led by Major Kaziz. On October 29th, 1940, when outside the 9th fort of Kaunas, 9,200 Jews from the Kaunas ghetto were killed. 2,007 were men, 2,920 women, and 4,273 were children. Absolutely shocking. So what happened is, late at night, 2/3 of the population of the Jewish ghetto in Kaunas got moved in small groups here, and that's where the mass execution happened. This installation consists of 9,200 buttons, of which male, female and children were found in a mass field near. Buttons of different shapes and colours reveal themselves to the museum visitors as a metaphor for various individuals unique to the people that were their own characters, experienced and had their own dreams. During the period of Nazi occupation, of the 200 people who were imprisoned in this and other cells of the Lang Fort, there are not enough berths for everyone. Therefore, people had to lie on the floor. Many of them were fumigated after a few days in the field near the fort or in the defensive ditch. Fumigated. Look at these. So again, like Auschwitz, they had bunks like this, and I think there was 5 there and 5 to the top. I'm not sure on this arrangement though. What a grim place to be. This is where people put their possessions. You'd have your it's dark, I'm sorry. You'd have your coat here and your shoes there, maybe your hat and your glasses. Just to feel the walls, you know, this like, you can feel the power in them. So this is an art exhibition by a local artist. It's called Survivors in Suspension, which does look quite grim in my opinion, but how else can you illustrate such a thing? You never returned from Auschwitz. I guess it obviously mentally scars you, doesn't it? Survivor of the genocide against Tunisia, Rwanda. I'm alive amongst the dead, and the dead amongst the living. Maybe I'll bleep this bit out. But yeah, this is to illustrate the pain that is still carried on after, you know, spending your time living during the war, being a victim of so many sad events, not just, you know, being mistreated by soldiers who were meant to be protecting you. And then this is where the exit is, it sends you out here. Yeah, this has been really eye-opening, and for £6 to learn a hell of a lot about Lithuania's that's the occupation history is it's well worth it, even if it was twice, 3 times as much as that. But yeah, this is the 9th fort, one of many forts that circled Kaunas city. I'm like a 17% battery left on this, and I need to try and get something else done for today as well, because it's only just gone 2 o'clock. But anyway, I want to say thanks for watching. If you want to correct me below, because you know I'm not perfect, do so, and let's learn stuff together. If you've enjoyed this video, hit like. If you want to learn some more, just like message me. Maybe I could tell you where I am right now, and if you ever do come to Lithuania and you want to experience this yourself, then do it. I please implore you to do so. But if you like the video, hit like, of course. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. And as we leave this place, I want to say thanks for watching. It's been a great day today. I thought it was going to rain, but it hasn't, luckily enough, because I've only got a vest on. But yeah, thanks for watching, you lot, and peace and love. Catch you next time. Bonus clip. So this is called an ice house, which is used to store ice after the Second World War. So when it snowed, people get ice on the rivers, and then apparently this will keep it frozen as ice, which is quite crucial. The barracks needed ice quite a lot, maybe for medical reasons. Anyway, I just walked out to the car park. I've got no phone signal, and I'm about 5 miles away from the city centre, so I'm either going to have to go for a little walk to get signal, or chat to a local to get back. But it's only just gone, it's 2:30 now, so the next video should be happening. So I'll see you next time. Peace.